Chestoa Rec Area right on the Nolichucky, and at first glance, the river looks wider than it used to be, but it's more like a Western style river now, where the soil and a lot of the trees that were below, say, a 20-foot mark on the river, they were just completely decimated and just completely washed away. So it looks wider. If you look up in the gorge, about 20 or 30 feet up on the side of where it's kind of channeled through there, it just looks like there's been a big boar brush just shoved down the river, and it's almost scoured, so it's lighter color all the way up to about 20, 30 feet, and it's largely devoid of vegetation, trees, and soil below that. So it's been a big adjustment to see that. So it's kind of deceptive. It looks wider, but the water's actually channeled more since the flood. So, and this is a good example of Chestoa. It looks really wide, but you see the flood, or the flow, is almost all downriver left. And what that means is the river is more difficult than it used to be. Think about same volume of water in a river that's in parts half as wide as it used to be, means the difficulty goes up as well. Here on the lower, it's not going to go up a whole lot in difficulty, maybe not at all, but certainly in the gorge, it's significantly more difficult up there. So, see where the truck is that's driving? The main channel used to be right to the right of where that is now, and it would just come down where all that dirt is. That was the main river, and it would keep coming down here, and here to the right, it was just ankle deep. I mean, it wasn't even hardly ever runnable. We would wade across that to get to our survival camp. So it completely changed the river, it just redirected the water. And, the reason why that happens is water typically, centrifugal force likes to go to the outside of a bend, especially at that volume. So it just redefined this whole area. Most of the flow went to the outside of the bend. That's where the river is now. And that's why so much of the damage was here relative to river left. To see this level of destruction on something that you have such a close relationship with, I think if you had all river people out here right now, like anybody that's had a history out here, I think everybody would say they're still processing it to this day. And even though I've been out here countless times since the flood, I still can't help but come out and just stop and stare and still try to process it. In part, a lot of our old reference points, they're gone, so it's not just a matter of, yeah, gosh, look at that destruction, but there's a point that I've spent so much time at over the years, well, that point is likely gone, right? So, yeah, it's going to be years in recovery, and it's never going to be the same, but we're trying to stay positive as we look forward and just be hopeful for the future, you know what I mean? So. The hope is that our outpost here is operational again by mid-April for Noli Fest. That would be a great way to kind of come back from this, but we need to get the road fixed in the meantime, and obviously there's a lot of work that needs to be done here still. To that point, what Matt Moses and his partners, our partners at USA Raft, if anybody has any skill with carpentry and earth moving, if anybody has any lumber or any supplies they can either donate or offer at a significant discount, then we would all be very grateful for that. And I'll provide Matt's, he said anybody can contact him on his cell phone to help with that, because that's the point we're at. A lot of the people that suffered damage, whether it's businesses and homes out here that lost everything, they didn't have flood insurance because they had good insurance here, but it's not going to cover a lot of the cost of repair. And it's largely because a lot of these areas were above the flood zone.